So it gets a little bit tricky in the front of your hair. What you'll want to do is just take whatever angle allows you to reach your root with the flat iron and then follow through. Um, and what I do, you may have noticed, I like to flat iron my hair in the back at a slanted angle. I don't part like straight horizontal parts. I find that it helps to keep them slanted, and it kind of helps you distinguish without looking, because you can't see in the back of your head. It helps you distinguish without looking what you've already flat ironed and what you haven't. So, like right here, I'm taking the hair at an angle, and I did this in the back of my head too. I'll show you. I'll point it out in the second half. But smooth it out from roots to ends with your fine tooth comb, and follow it up with that flat iron. And I'm showing you guys this in real time, so you really get a feel for how long it takes to achieve this look. And it'd actually be a little faster than this because it was just different recording for a video and doing the camera placement and just kind of having to position things awkwardly because I needed an outlet and then space for the camera and that whole setup. So yeah, and I'm taking my time so that I can show you guys what I'm really doing. But you'll get the hang of this and be able to do this in no time. Eventually. Tap, tap. Pull it through. Slowly. Okay, so I'm going to let out the remainder of my hair. Comb it through because it's been up tightly in that clip. And take the flat iron. And when I get to the front, I try to flat iron my hair going back. And I like the effect that that gives. You'll see what I mean soon. But yeah, like I said, the front is a little bit tricky. But you will get the hang of it. And if your roots are concerned, as curly kinky girls, you can actually go ahead and just flat iron the root first and then go back and flip it back for the effect that I'm going to get. This way, I don't know, when you're new to trying to flat iron your hair back, you can kind of end up stalling and leaving the hot flat iron on your hair for a little bit too long. So if you go ahead and take care of the root first, then you can just do a quick pass for the sake of styling afterwards. It's my little tip. So taking it at an angle, get that root, and I'm just going to bring this one straight down and pull it back. For now, manually. Combing through small section, and just because my hair is straighter and more fine in the front, I'm not going to take that and try to see. Okay, now I'm pulling back. You have to work quickly when you do that. Don't stall because you could end up putting too much heat on your hair. But anyway, I'm not going to take larger sections just because the front of my hair is more fine, because you can take somewhat larger sections, but you don't want to overdo it because you won't end up getting your hair straight, or you won't end up doing a good job and it'll quickly revert. At least that's my experience. Don't take for granted that some areas of your hair straighten more easily, because if you take it to an extreme, you're not going to get them straight. Continue to take your time throughout your head. But if your hair, for example, the more new growth I get, the curlier my hair gets. But in the beginning, my hair was just wavy in the front. That's how different the texture in the front is. So if your hair doesn't require as much in one section of your hair, if it doesn't require as much heat, feel free to lower the temperature on your flat iron. Like I said, you don't have to use the same temperature all over your head if you don't have the same texture or the same amount of curl all over your head. Always use the lowest setting that will get you to achieve your straightness for the sake of the health of your hair. Don't use 400 if you don't need 400. Use 400 at the crown and 360 in the front if your hair permits. And I'm just being really careful and getting the areas around my hairline. And that side is pretty much done. I dropped something, of course. And I'm just lightly brushing through. I haven't styled my bangs yet, really. But one side is pretty much done. And that's the texture. Moving on. One side to go. So here you can see the difference between the side that was not flat ironed yet and the side that was already flat ironed. This side is flowy and silky, and this side just doesn't really move, and my roots are not straight. But they will be in a sec.